Hey, this is Doug from Griddle, Cook, Eat, and More, and today we are going to do a little side-by-side comparison. To this side I have the Blackstone 36-inch original from Walmart for $2.97, comes with the hardcover. Over here I have the Camp Chef Gridiron 36-inch for $4.99. You can get it, I know, like at Dick's, I think Cabela's, buy it online. Home Depot, I believe, maybe sell it, or you can get it online. That's where I bought mine, was Home Depot. Anyways, enough about that. So we're just going to do a side-by-side comparison, see which one you should get. A couple things to talk about real quick. Now this one has a hardcover, so if you buy the Blackstone with the hood, which would be more comparable to this one, at Walmart, it goes for $399.95. This is $499.95, so $100 cheaper. If you have a Costco membership, you can get this style with the hardcover and a little front tray there to put your bottles in, and that goes for $349.95. Then you can go to Lowe's and get the Culinary Series standard 36-inch with the hood. That's $499. And then you can also get the Iron Forge Blackstone from, I know Ace Hardware sells those, maybe a couple other places, Dick's. And then that one's ranges around $499 and up. I think even Academy sells it. So that's four options I know of that are comparable to the Camp Chef. So some are the same price, some are a little less. But that's enough about that. Let's dig in and take a better look at them. All right, let's take a little closer look. We'll start with the Blackstone first. So here it is, a good old OG 36-inch. Now, as I was mentioned before, I got the hardcover. I don't have the hood, so not exact comparison, but that's really the only difference. This mine's got the hard top that you can take off, not the hinged hood. But like I said, you can, four other comparable models that have it. Blackstone gives you two side shelves on the basic 36-inch. It's got a little shelf on the bottom. The shelves will fold down, and then I'll show you what I do with it. Now, the shelves will fold down and hang, but I don't have mine bolted to it because I haul this everywhere, so I just leave it where I can just slide it off. But if you put the extra two bolts in there, then you can drop them down, make them more compact. But you have the poor propane tank to the side there, so that's gonna impede on that, dropping that shelf down. And then another one will fold down to make it more compact. Lengthwise, I've never really measured this before, but let's see here. So just about 65 inches for that, wide and then deep. So if you got this hood on, so you're looking about 23 inches. Now the hardcover will hang off the back like that, or you can just take it and get rid of it. The top itself, real quick measurements, obviously should be 36 inches, so just shy under that. And then just shy under 22 inches deep. Four burners, one ignition. It's got little, it's battery powered, and it's got little igniters, like electrical piezo style, whatever on there. So when you fire it up, you just crank it, and you can just turn them all on and then hit the igniter button, light them all at once. That's how I do it. Now this is the 4-burner Omnivore. So this is the new style. Pretty much every Blackstone out there. I don't know if you can get the old style ones. I do have a video out there where I compare the previous model, which is a 60,000 BTU burner setup, and the old style top. Now this is Omnivore style top, which is lighter in weight. It's about 15 pounds lighter than the old one. This one weighs around 45 pounds. And then the burners, all four combined, only give you 38,000. Both the lighter top and the design, you still get that pretty much that same heat with it. All right, so let's take a look at Camp Chef here. All right, so good old Camp Chef. Similar design, two side tables. Both these fold down, 4 burners. And like I said, you know, this one's got the hinge hood. And then the hood's pretty good construction, no really flexing. It's pretty heavy duty. I'm going to say it's, from the ones I've looked at in the store, Blackstones, I feel it's a little bit heavier duty. The cool thing about this griddle, top's a little dirty, but the thing that really wanted me to get it is the front drain like this. So this reminds me of commercial griddle. Commercial griddles have the front trough there that you scrape off in. So that's pretty cool. I like that. So that's one cool feature. Now the Camshaft doesn't give you a bottom shelf where the Blackstone does, which is interesting, but I've seen people make out of plywood, custom cut a shelf to put down there. But I never store anything underneath mine, so it's no big deal. One thing I'll show you while we're here is the grease trap hides under here. Slide that open, and there's a little grease cup there. All right, let's get some measurements here. All right, so we're 69 inches end to end. All right, and then we'll measure from the hood. We got the handle there, so about 27 inches. So 69 by 27, so there's some dimensions for you, depending if you got a certain spot on your deck, patio, or wherever you want to fit it in. A little bit bigger than the Blackstone, but real similar on size-wise. You don't have to worry about, since the grease trap's underneath, you don't have it on the back. Also, Camshaft makes, which I didn't talk about on the Blackstone, but Camshaft makes these magnetic accessories. You can see it's got the little indentions there. They have magnets, so they have like a 2-bottle holder that clips on there. They got a paper towel holder that magnetizes to it. A couple other items, hooks and stuff that you can put on those little slots. And depending on which Blackstone model you get, they have the newer ones. I believe maybe it's on the Gridiron, they got some type of track system where they got stuff that you can attach to it. The Blackstone at Walmart, that's similar to mine. It gives you the top on it. The hood has brackets underneath that bottom shelf, and you can fit 2 tubs under there, so it gives you some storage there, which I kind of like that because they're sealed tubs that you can put under there. But that's why I don't leave anything under here, because these things sit outside and then they just get pollen, dust, when you mow, whatever, they get crap all over them. All right, so that's kind of the gist of it on the outside, what they look like. Let's take a look at the burners. We'll get them fired up, check the heat on them, stuff like that. So let's jump on that 1 second. All right, here we go. All right, got that top off of here. So it's just got 4 straight burners on there. I got 2 little igniters on each one there, a little dusty in there. All right, the light, basically what I do is I just turn all of them on high, just like that, and then hit the button. And they fire up. Kind of hard to see here, but they're all lit up. Now I will say about the Blackstone, at least this model, these newer ones, these burners are noisy, and then the first one I bought, I had to take it back because they would pop real loud and blow themselves out. This one's not as bad, seems to work decent, but yeah, and they're not, you can't adjust them either. They don't have adjustment gates on them. So I think it's just a bad burner design. I did notice some of the newer Blackstones, they have the Bronco series, and some of the culinary ones, they're upgraded the burner design, and probably just because of that issue. And let's check out the top here. So this is the Omnivore top right here. So a little bit different design. Before they just had 4 strips of angle iron going end to end welded onto it. Now they got a little unique pattern there. As you can see, they got this welded in, which helps with the wind. Before the old style Blackstone, you had more of a wind issue. This one helps do that, but this is designed to use lower BTUs, gets it hot, which makes the griddle more efficient, which is kind of cool. So, it's always good to burn less propane. Let's get this top on, get it warmed up, and see what kind of temps we get. All right, Blackstone's smoking hot. I don't know, got carried away doing some other stuff, so this is going to be hot as it's going to get. All right, very far to the left, 430. And we're just going to kind of run across the middle here. 500, 530, 569, 570, 80. Looks like 580s is the hottest. That's kind of over the second burner tip from the left. 530s. You get over the side there, back down to 400. Fairly hot. It's definitely right in this zone here, pushing 580, 550 average. And one thing I didn't mention in the beginning, which I forgot about, it does have a rear grease drain back there that you hook a cup up to, and then you push your grease to the back. All right, good enough with that. Let's get the top off of the Camshaft and check it out. All right, so similar setup. You got 4 burners going across, similar to the Blackstone. There's your little grease hole for the grease tray. One thing I didn't talk about, which you can see actually with the griddle top off, Actually, see, we got a little rust down there. So there you go. So note for thought. See those little screws right there? There's one there, and then you go over there, one there. On the outside there, it's got an Allen key, which is actually attached right there. You can adjust those up and then tilt your griddle forward, or the back end of the griddle up. That way you get your grease run off into your thing, or you can leave it flat if you want more grease on there or whatever, depending on what you want to do. But I think that's kind of a cool feature, unique, and then no other griddles really has anything like that that I can see. But here, let's fire this thing up. So this thing has what they call flamethrower ignition, and we'll fire one up here, see if we can see it. As you see it, do it again. See how it flames up like that? So pretty cool there, the old flamethrower, how you ignite those up. One other thing I didn't mention comparing the two, this one's got these little baby casters on it, but they're 4 swivel casters. They are small though, I wish they were kind of bigger. You can lock the fronts. But the Blackstone still on the base 36 has the straight ones there, or the fixed ones in the swivel. But if you do the iron forged, I believe the iron forged, I'm not sure about the culinary edition, those may have a 4 swivel, so there's food for thought if you like, if it's easier to move your griddle around or get it back in a spot where you don't have to jimmy it back and forth. But for me, this Blackstone's predominantly used just to take on camping trips, stuff like that. So it's usually sitting in the garage, kind of packed away, and I just throw it in the truck. Which leads me another item. The Blackstone, the reason I have this Blackstone 36 is because you can take that shelf out of the bottom and you can fold the legs up in it, pull the things off, and I can just stack everything together. Fits under the tonneau cover in the back of my truck, and then I can take it places. Where this ain't, nothing's folding up on this thing. It's a solid thing. And then I believe like the culinary edition, I don't think you can fold that one up. Not 100% sure about the iron forged one, but that's one main reason I like this Blackstone here, is because you can take the shelf out, fold it up, and make it mobile. All right, we'll get this top back on the Camp Chef here, and we'll get it fired up and see what kind of heat we get out of it. All righty, got the Camp Chef fired up here. Let's see what we got going on. Now, I will say this Camp Chef, mine, for whatever reason, doesn't get near as hot as the Blackstone. But let's see what we got going on. All right, so we're looking at 3 right on the corner there, moving over 430, 450, 470, 80, 500, kind of right between the first and the second burner there. Try to keep this steady. Close to 500, right over the second burner, kind of in the middle. 590, 500, getting towards the third burner right there. Close to fourth, so right there, that's our hottest spot right there, kind of between the third and the fourth burner, over 520. This thing's preheated pretty long time, so I'm not sure. May get a little more heat out of it, but I mean, that's not too bad. It gets the job done. The cool thing is this thing will sit around 300 degrees on low, where the Blackstone doesn't, you know, it's a lot hotter on low. So this does have a good low temperature, and I know a lot of people out there are all about that low temperature. There you go. This one's a good one for the low. I think that is a decent little comparison. Kind of gives you the features and stuff on it and kind of differences. Now, my thoughts between the two, I do think the Camp Chef is a better built griddle. Now, if you compare it to the Blackstone at Walmart, that's $3.99. This is $4.99. $100 more, but I definitely think it's a better built griddle. I like the grease design. The hood's stronger, so if you compare this hood to a Blackstone hood, especially like a Walmart one, a lot flimsier, so better built construction. But I mean, you're paying a little bit more, but not crazy. I think Camp Chef really built this grill and marketed it to go against Blackstone, to be honest, because they have their FTG or something like that, 600. it's kind of like a stainless front on it, griddle, which they've had forever, which that runs, shoot, I don't know, that's around $600 or $700, I believe. So, and it's smaller. So this is a true 36 inch. That one wasn't even 36 inches. So I think Camp Chef's goal here with the Gridiron was as a direct competitor to the Blackstone. Now, when you compare it, and even compared to like the Culinary series, at Lowe's, you know, even though I don't have one, but I've looked at them at the stores and stuff, I still think this is overall a better constructed grill, structure-wise. And so my choice, if I was going to buy either of these two griddles for my house, just use in the backyard, I'd definitely do the Camp Chef over the Blackstone, I think. Now, the reason I got the Blackstone, like I said before, is because it folds up and it's portable, and that's primarily what I use it for. It's not my everyday cooker. So I use this, I have a Halo, and I got this Camp Chef that I use back here. But there it is. That's my 2 cents on it. I totally dig the Camp Chef. So yeah, my choice, definitely be the Camp Chef. Blackstone's not bad. I mean, for $297, this one here from Walmart, hardcover, really, I mean, that gets the job done. I've used a lot of them. Like, this is my 4th one. And actually, over time, the price got better. My original Blackstone I bought was $299. It had the front grease system, which ran down the front of the leg. And also, it didn't come with a hardcover either, which back then was 80. Well, once they came, they didn't even have hardcovers in the original when I first got the grill. But after a while, they finally came up with a hardcover, which was $80 to buy. So there you had $380 in it back then, way back then. I mean, I'm talking a long time ago. So I give credit to Blackstone keeping that price point there at $297. That's good. So I think that's a great value grill right there for $297. But if budget's not in your concern, or that, you know, you don't mind spending $500, a lot of times you find these for $50 off, or you get some promotion, you know. Then there you go, $450. But if the budget's not a major concern, I would definitely go with the Camp Chef. If not, you know, the Blackstone gets the job done. I've cooked on those things forever. But there you go. There's my little assessment of these two griddles. If you got any questions or anything like that, feel free to comment if anything I forgot to mention in there. But that's it for this one. We'll talk to you next time. I'm out.